1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Excuse me. Good morning, guys. I'm James Hake of the Hake Report, and this is the 4th hour of Jesse Lee Peterson's stream. And I am on it because I'm here every Thursday on Jesse's stream at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and every Sunday, 9 a.m. on Jesse's stream. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about this ridiculous fake cries of racism stuff that's been going on and it's been getting worse. But luckily, we have a president who doesn't really go along with it. And that is hugely important and helpful to the people who are crying the loudest, as well as the people who really need help. There's whites who are under attack, and then there's blacks who are under attack, but by the people who are pretending to be their friends. And you heard one Democrat who's like 20, what is he, 23, 24? This 22, 23, Esteban's age. You guys heard from Coleman Hughes at the Reparations hearing on Jesse's show about this reparations is a bad idea. And he's a Democrat. He's like a pro-socialist. He's like, we need affordable health care and we need safer schools and neighborhoods. Basically what he's saying, but he doesn't really want to, I don't know if he wants to admit it, but he makes a good point. The blacks need morals. They don't need reparations. But he's also seeming to ask for socialism too, because he's like a millennial or a Gen Z. But I noticed one thing about this Coleman Hughes guy that we played. Hey, Suze on Periscope. Nice to see you. Well, one thing I noticed about what Coleman Hughes said, I looked him up on Wikipedia, and he says that he criticizes the social justice movements because they give agency to the whites, and agency meaning responsibility for their actions and how they act and how it affects other people and everything else, versus removing agency for all the POCs, the people of color. And when you remove agency, you say, oh, they can't be responsible. Oh, they're black. They're POCs. They're women. So lame. And so he's right about that. He's been, maybe we'll invite him on the show, see if he wants to come on. So that was nice. But I have some more information. You know, they're toppling Confederate monuments around the country. And they're vandalizing them. It is crazy. It is off the deep end, and it is so ridiculous that these rhinos and Democrats and politically correct, stupid historians who are basically communists, anti-American, are kissing up to the people like this. Trash people who are just vandalizing the statues. And trash people are also taking down these Confederate monuments. I say all the time that these Confederate monuments are honoring people who are more honorable than anybody who's taking down the monuments. All the people taking down the monuments are lame, pathetic, like I said, trash people. And then, also, we've talked about the Ferguson effect, how Black Lives Matter is worse than the KKK. Here's one more reason. Black-on-black murder increased thanks to Black Lives Matter and Obama giving them a platform, and the liberal media stoking the flames and stuff like that. Basically, everybody kissing up to blacks has made it worse for the blacks and made it worse for the cops too, because they were getting prosecuted for no reason. And so murders went up. But thanks to the Great White Hope not kissing up to Black Lives Matter, murders are going back down. That's good. And so I'll tell you more about that. But I want to get to some calls because we have some talking to do. You can call in 888-775-3773. Ryan Moon. Oh, shoot. I wasn't supposed to say that. Ryan out of Concord, California. Ryan, how are you?
All is well, James. How you doing?
Doing well. Nice to hear from you again. It was nice to finally meet you at the men's conference.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Cool, man.
You said at the beginning of the show that there was like an attack on whites, right?
Yeah.
And so my buddy sent me a screenshot because I don't know how he got it. I think he watches CNN just to make fun of them. And he saw on the CNN screen that the first 24 hours of fundraising for the presidential candidates, and Trump had like $24 million or something. But it's so funny. He sent me a screenshot, and the other three guys next to Trump were Biden, Dayton O'Rourke, and Bernie Sanders.
Right.
And I thought it was just ironic that CNN would post a picture of all straight white males on their channel.
Yeah, that is funny. I noticed that. That was nice. Where did I see that? There was a headline. 24.8, something like that. 24.8 million in less than 24 hours. This is a tweet from Mitt Romney's niece, RNC chairman Ronna McDaniel, a woman. Why would they put a woman as Republican National Committee chairman? But anyways, she tweeted Wednesday, Donald Trump has raised a record-breaking $24.8 million in less than 24 hours for his re-election. The enthusiasm across the country for this president is unmatched and unlike anything we've ever seen. And she says, hashtag Trump 2020, hashtag Keep America Great. But it's more than Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke, and Kamala Harris. The pot woman. That's nice. That's a nice sign.
So I have a question. What do you think is going to happen to the straight white males in the Democratic Party? Because I know the progressive left they're not going to want them. They're going to want to eat them up.
Yeah.
I know the progressive left is tired of white males and old white males for that because you got Biden and Sanders.
Yeah. So Joe Biden got in trouble, hot water anyways, for what was he doing? He was talking about how the Congress used to work together, even and he referenced some guys who apparently they were segregationists. Who cares, right? But anyways, they were segregationists. And so now some blacks like Cory Booker want him to apologize because he said that he got along with people who were segregationists, probably Democrats. But again, who cares? These people are worse than segregationists. They're abortionists, for one thing.
Right.
So, but he's not backing down. I like that about Joe Biden, even though I don't like him at all. I mean, I'm not for anything that he's for. But I do like that. I do like that he's not apologizing. I wonder what's going to happen. But I don't. And I've heard that I don't see him becoming the nominee. But maybe I would be surprised. I'm with Jesse. I think it's going to be the pot woman, Kamala Harris, the prosecutor. Nice.
That's what I said too. She's black. She's a woman. She smokes pot. In a recent interview, she was asked what her favorite music was, and it was like hip-hop and reggae.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to get that huge progressive vote, maybe even take some votes away from Bernie.
Yeah, I think the Bernie hype has been totally deflated because he kissed up to Black Lives Matter. He bowed down to Hillary, and he showed himself to be a total establishment guy, even though he pretended to be an independent socialist. He's an establishment socialist Democrat. And then they're looking at, I saw a headline that they're looking at Elizabeth Warren as a compromise candidate, but Elizabeth Warren is not exciting either. She's boring by now. She's just a nasty woman. You know, Hillary was a nasty woman, and this woman is really nasty. She's so sarcastic, unlikable. Pocahontas is a sweet name, but she's not a sweet woman.
Did you ever
we'll
see that one live feed of her? I think she was in her kitchen.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was with her husband, and she went to get a beer.
Hey, want a beer? Yeah, I did see that. That was crazy. That's when she announced. It was on Instagram Live, I want to say. And I think that's when she announced that she's running for president. Trying to be
was
hip.
her announcement?
I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You can check. You can look it up. But I'm pretty sure that was when she announced that she's running for president.
These Democrats are crazy, James.
Yeah.
How do they think that unprofessionalism is going to get them votes?
She's a boomer. I don't know, man. It's crazy. These people are like, they talk about how people are disconnected or detached or something like that, or out of touch. Well, she's out of touch. And yeah, I think AOC has more credibility than some of these people. And she doesn't have credibility, but she's at least being normal when she's streaming. You know, she's a millennial. So,
Right.
anyways. I appreciate it, Ryan.
Sure, James. Yeah, no problem, man. Have an amazing day.
All right, you too. Take care.
Bye, bud.
Bye. Let me get to a couple of more calls. John, out of Washington. John, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm wonderful. How about you?
Doing fine, thank you.
So, I can't pledge allegiance on the YouTube chat. It gets censored immediately.
The YouTube censors your pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Maybe it's because it's too long of a message. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. This is supposed to be on my right, by the way. I'm sorry, but we'll have to figure that out later. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Just justice for all, something like that. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Shameful.
Yeah, it's always been just short enough to make it.
Ah, crazy. Well,
And so every time I post it, it's like I said redneck. They post that.
they hold it.
Block that too.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I'll try it. I'll try it out and let you know how it goes.
All right, Ian.
All right, appreciate it, John.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Same to you. By the way, did you catch Church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sundays?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear that we put out an old service last night on Premiere? We premiered it on YouTube and Facebook. Sunday service, July 27th, 2008, and it was called "More on Being Controlled by Words." Had you heard that?
I watched the premiere last night.
Yeah, that was it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, everybody, make sure that you're following and subscribing to Bond Rebuilding the Man on YouTube and Facebook.
And make sure you ring the bell.
And ring the bell so that you get the alerts. Appreciate it, John.
Yep. God bless.
All right, take care. Let me quickly, before I get to more calls, get to this. I noticed that everybody's really the same. I noticed that the blacks who hate Jesse, I used to get annoyed at them because they'll just outright ignore the reality, truthful statements, factual things that actually point to truth, not facts that distract from the truth, meaning relevant facts. Whites who hate and more recently I've been getting annoyed at whites who hate Jesse for telling them not to hate the Jews. And then I realized that, like, those of us who are getting annoyed at the blacks and the whites who are hating Jesse are the same people as them. It's like everybody's just full of hate and judgment and blind to themselves, not looking at themselves. Because the more powerful thing to fix the country is to really check yourself. And you'll notice that the people who are waking up, coming out of being Democrats into being Republicans, out of being liberals, beta males, NPCs, into being actual, like, self-independent thinking conservatives who know what's right, and people who go from ineffective conservatives to actually effective conservatives, and from beta males to alpha males. Those people are really checking themselves, and they're becoming right themselves first, and then they're powerful in the world too. And otherwise, you can't be powerful in the world. So don't be crying about YouTube is blocking me, or YouTube or Facebook is censoring me, because nobody wants to listen to you if you're not right yourself. So that's just like a nice reminder that you have to stick with the basics. And that's what I like about Jesse's message, is be responsible, get over the anger, and don't be retarded, and watch yourself. So I just thought that was very nice. And speaking of people focusing on the outside world, degenerate people, Drudge reports Confederate monuments across the South are under attack by vandals. And yeah, they're called Democrats. A euphemism for blacks and Antifa, including rhinos too. Charlotte Observer reports more than... Oh, I have a couple of headlines for this. A headline and some details. Charlotte Observer reports more than a dozen Confederate statues vandalized around the country so far in 2019. That doesn't include vandalism and riots last year around the University of North Carolina's Silent Sam statue that famously got toppled. Ridiculous. In Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which attracted international attention in the years since the deadly clashes in Charlottesville, Virginia, in which Antifa was attacking the alt-right. And one alt-right guy did a car attack. Maybe it was more like a car freakout, but whatever, and killed a woman. Anyways, that Charlottesville, Virginia situation was over the removal of General Robert E. Lee, who's a better man than most of the people living today, including all Democrats and everybody who voted for Obama unless they repented. So that was back in August 2017, that Charlottesville, Virginia riot, in which the cops and the mayor allowed Antifa to attack the alt-right. And this is I'm showing a picture of when they toppled Silent Sam's statue after that, in a different area. But, so, scores of Confederate memorials have been taken down around the country, according to the New York Times. Scores, that means many 20s. A score means 20, and when you say scores, that means many 20s. Many more have been vandalized over the past 2 years. Here are some of the cases so far, and I'll read some of these. Actually, I have this screenshot of this bullet point list. This week, police accused 2 people of splattering a red paint-like substance on the Confederate Defenders of Charleston monument in South Carolina, according to the state. On Monday, somebody painted they were racists, and splashed red paint on a Confederate monument in Nashville, Tennessee, according to National Public Radio. Earlier in June, someone spray painted the word racists on a Confederate monument at the Texas Capitol grounds in Austin, according to KWKT. A monument to Confederate soldiers in a cemetery in Bardstown, Kentucky, was vandalized in May, according to WLKY. Someone poured red paint on the statue, similar to what happened to another Confederate monument that was defaced in Louisville, Kentucky. Paint thrown on the Louisville monument in May marks the 5th time the Confederate soldier statue has been defaced in 2 years, according to the Louisville Courier-Journal. A city commission had just voted to remove the statue, just kissing up to these vandals and, trash people. In April, someone smeared what appeared to be cement on a plaque for a Confederate monument in Durham, North Carolina cemetery, according to the News and Observer. This was the 2nd time the monument had been defaced. They don't want to reunite the country. All these Confederate monuments was partly to reunite the country. In March, police said 2 people poured yellow paint on a Confederate statue in Salisbury, North Carolina, according to the Charlotte Observer. Also in March, this time in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, someone spray painted the words murderer and coward in pink. Yeah, this is real brave. On a monument outside the historic Rutherford County Courthouse, according to WZTV. And statues were also vandalized in Tyler, Texas, Dallas, Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and other cities. In one case of suspected mistaken identity, someone defaced a statue of World War II General William C. Lee, not Confederate General Robert E. Lee, in Dunn, North Carolina, according to CBS 17. And idiot Democrats, rhinos, and kiss-ups, they kiss up to these trash people. They're like, ISIS, Jesse's right. These people are like ISIS, just erasing our history. Commies with their fake history and their fake ethics and fake notions of racism. So dumb. So I just wanted to point out those people are, we can't even hate those people, like what Jesse says. Because they're the haters. So, whatever. Let's get to Maze. Out of Dayton, Ohio. Maze, my favorite caller. How are you doing?
Hello, James.
Hey.
You read about the monuments all the time.
Huh?
Did y'all put those monuments up? Who put those monuments up?
Who put the monuments up? Presumably the Americans did.
Well, were people slaves at the time they were put up?
I don't believe so.
You know you lied.
What? Why would they?
So you don't.
Okay, Confederate monuments means after the war, and after the war, slavery had ended. So yeah, people weren't slaves at that point.
I'm saying they were bigots and all these different things. So y'all always say you didn't own no slaves. You didn't own the monuments. You didn't put them up. So why are y'all so careful to want to keep them?
Huh? You said bigots. Did you say bigots put them up?
That's what I said.
How do you know they were bigots who put them up? Maybe it's just Americans who wanted to.
Why are you trying to hold on to them? Is what I want to know.
Because they're there. They should stay there.
They were put there for Jim Crow, James. So that's what I want to know. See,
so what?
Anything having to do.
Lots of stuff was put up during Jim Crow. So
Yes,
what?
it was.
And?
So what was a reminder to who?
And what's your point?
I'm saying, so you didn't put them up. You didn't own a slave.
Yeah.
So you didn't put up a monument.
I didn't put them up because they were put up 100 years before I was born.
Thank you. So you had nothing to do with it. So what you read about it for?
Because that's my country. Because that's my country, and it's your country too, presumably.
Really?
Yeah, really.
What was Jim Crow about, James?
Jim Crow was about keeping the peace since the whites and the blacks had to live together. That was the Democrats.
Really?
That was the Democrats' maybe imperfect solution to society at those times.
Talk about it, and then come and let me know the Caucasian history.
Huh?
See, that's what y'all don't know nothing about your history. That's what's wrong with you. If you
knew about history, then why would you want the?
You know our history.
Hold on.
Don't know our history.
If you knew about history, why would you want the monuments taken down?
I thought, what are you worried about? Right? I want to tell you something. We're little slaves, but you want to keep the monuments.
You're right. We shouldn't. You're right. We shouldn't worry about it. We shouldn't worry about it because we shouldn't worry. Hold on. We shouldn't worry about it because Jesus said, "Do not worry." So that's a good point. But it's not right to bring them down. We should defend them.
I'm saying the same people that put them up are some of the same people, children, ancestors, children, and everybody. They put them up. They're taking them down. So what you upset about? Taking them down?
No. That's irrelevant. They don't have the right to do that.
I have one question left for you, and I need an answer because Jesse can't answer it. Since you think he can answer for everybody. You're the only person because I'm talking to you as a Caucasian.
Thank you.
Well, why all these people in this administration want to have jobs, but they can't get a job because of the things they've done in their past, like beating their wives? What's wrong with this?
What's wrong with our society that we don't allow former wife beaters to get the job? I don't know.
What's wrong with these Caucasians that's beating their wives?
What's wrong with these Caucasians that are? I don't know. I don't know.
You explain that. You always try to explain what black people are doing. So why don't you explain what your men look like you doing? Why are they beating their wives and they can't get jobs?
Blacks somewhat resemble me. You know, we're all humanoids.
What?
I said we're all humanoids, right? I think.
You're all human, but
human.
It's not human when you're talking about black people, though. Really?
Sure, it is.
Let's talk about some.
Yeah, it's human.
Talk about some morals and some values.
You're the one dehumanizing the blacks.
You. Yeah, you talk about morals.
You're dehumanizing the blacks by saying that whites can't talk about blacks.
No, you can't because you don't know nothing about them.
Thank you. No, I can.
So that's right.
I know plenty about them.
Look at yourself and say like, and then where is the Caucasian that come out and speak? But when you hear Jesse with this babbling and crazy stuff that's coming out of his throat,
yeah,
where are them that they want to defend somebody being a conservative or a Democrat or a liberal? You're all the same.
Very good point, Maze. I
And that's
appreciate
what
it.
happens. You all get together, you forget about your party and you get together, but then you want to act like you apart. You're not apart. The liberals are just like this conservatives.
Yep.
If you really want to look at it.
Most of them, yeah.
That's why I'm
There's a
not
few
really one- I'm
conservatives
not
who are
gonna be
awake,
a
but
part
there's
of
no
my
liberals who are. There's a
What?
few. There's a few conservatives who are awake and good, decent people.
Yeah.
Most
And
of them
then
are not. And then there's no liberals who are any good, except for the ones who are about to wake up. Maybe they're going to come out of being liberal.
You work together because they're married to each other and everything else.
Working
And then
together
people
for
like,
Satan. It's true. All right, Maze. Nice talking with you.
One more.
All
What
right.
do you think about black people that don't have a clue of what black people are? They're too busy trying to be like Caucasians. They don't even think like us, act like us.
I don't know.
Have a thought like us. What do you think about them? They can't help y'all with nothing because they too busy trying to be like you.
Yeah.
We need to tell them where to jump off at because y'all should be sick of them.
All right. Cool.
So
Thank
if they
you.
want to be like y'all, then why can they teach you something about us?
Right. All
So
right.
you should be skeptical of people like that. You have a good one.
All right.
Learn the history, and then you come back and tell us about what Jim Crow was about. And then when you get to those statutes, you can explain that, and it all go together. Have a good one.
All right. Bye. What a mess. I kind of lost track. I'm sorry. Let me get to Scott out of Colorado. Scott, how are you doing, Scott?
I'm doing. Nice to hear from you.
Hey, nice to hear from you. So hold on. I'm getting a Twitch comment. You're right, man. I'm so blind that I want people to live their best life. I don't know if this is a liberal. Yeah, no cursing. Yeah, liberals maybe have well wishes, maybe want the best. Everybody has good intentions. A lot of people have nice intentions, but it doesn't do any good. Yeah, blind. All right, Scott, go for it.
The road to hell's paved on good intentions.
That's what I've heard, and I can't really dispute it. It seems to make sense.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You guys put together an excellent week. Amazing.
Thank you. Which week are you referring to?
You, Joel, and Nick.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, and the other guy, what's his name? Oh, Jesse.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So I wanted to talk about reparations.
All right, go for it.
I think not all, but most blacks do deserve reparations, and we should stop fighting them on it.
What type of reparations do they deserve?
Well, Stephen Mnuchin, the Treasury Department can easily put this together, put a list of the blacks that need the financing. We'll put it together, and they can all go back to Africa.
Yeah. I don't even want to pay for that, though, because they're just going to make Africa worse. Remember what happened in Liberia?
I mean, can that really happen, James?
Yeah, it actually can, because there are different countries in Africa. Some are worse than others. I learned this week, speaking of ignorance, that there was the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Republic of Congo, and those are two different countries, and one is worse than the other, and I think it's the Democratic Republic of Congo, according to Jesse's new producer, Nick. So if that's fake news, then you can blame Jesse's new producer.
But I too used to suffer from liberalism. And when I started waking up, YouTube can really run the gambit. But with Jesse, you start to take personal ownership over being a beta, which means you lack personal responsibility. You want to act like an emotional female. And thank God for a black conservative like Jesse. And, of course, the great white beard and James Hake.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Nice.
You guys are doing an amazing job, and I'm glad that there is the Hake Report. Let's keep it Hake Report.
No, I'll keep it the Hake Report. I was thinking I kind of like Hake News for the segments during Jesse's show.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds great.
Hake News, because I was calling it like JLP News or Jesse Lee Peterson News Report, but I like two-syllable things. Hake News.
And bring it in with like a song or jingle or something like that that's like conducive to the Hake News.
All right. Maybe I'll do my own Hake News. Dun, dun, dun.
Exactly. that sounds awesome.
All right, cool.
like I was telling Nick, you know, he said he was 25. I couldn't have imagined working around a show like that at 25. So
I know.
You, Nick, and Joel are blessed to be around a knucklehead like Jesse, because he's on it. And when you're over the target, you start catching slack. And, you know, whites attacking Jesse, blacks attacking Jesse. It rolls off of his...
Yeah, he definitely sets a good example in that way. I was talking with him about it. Like, sometimes I don't care, and then sometimes it's like, these people are so annoying. And, but it never gets to him. And it's a nice example, and he responds in the right way.
As a younger man, we have a lack of self-esteem. You know,
we have big egos.
Yeah, egos and a lack of self-esteem, critical thinking. So our fathers in a beta society like ours now, controlled by these women, or at least they think they're in control, we lack self-esteem because a woman can't give a man self-esteem. Only a man could give a man and woman self-esteem because it comes through a work ethic, right? Going and doing the do.
Interesting, Scott. I appreciate that.
Look what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You're having fun. You're not working because you're having fun. But you guys have responsibilities and you're taking care of it. And Jesse relies on you. And that's what makes the best dynamic of your show. It's interactive, and everybody loves to call and either add their part to it, like James and Earl. You know, that's funny. But there's the deeper part. Today, Jesse took 4 or 5 calls that took up the whole show. I had to talk about Iran, and he's like, "I'll see you later."
Those are nice. Those are nice calls too, because he's really dealing with his mission, rebuilding men. So that's cool.
Without those calls, us men wouldn't be able to see it and relate to it, because this show has changed the perspective I had as a beta male. Now at 39, I'm like, you know, I'm a man.
Nice. Cool, Scott. That's a nice report. Thank you.
James, you need to be on more than 2 days a week.
Yeah, we're working on it.
An hour's not enough.
I've heard that too. Thank you.
Thank God for Jesse building you up on his platform. He's really rebuilding the man. And you guys, again, are lucky, and you got to pay it forward. You know that.
Cool, man. Thank you again, Scott.
Have a blessed day. I'll get off the line so there can be other callers. Keep doing what you guys are doing. You're awesome.
All right, we'll do. Bye. Let's see. Real quick. Let me get to Micah. He seems like he's been waiting for me. Micah, out of Indiana, how are you doing? First-time caller.
What's up, Hake?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. I just called into Jesse's show at the end of his show 20 minutes ago.
Cool. How old are you? Are you the Micah that called in before? How old are you?
12.
Nice. You sound my age. Anyways.
Yeah. So you were talking about the Democratic nominees and the election coming up, and it's like people said the 2016 election was a joke. This one seems like blows that one out of the water.
Yeah. It's interesting.
No, but you can't take anyone seriously except for Trump.
Seriously, you're right. It's interesting that now it's before it was the Republicans that had 17 candidates, and now it's the Democrats. And it's going to be kind of, if a black woman like Kamala wins the nomination, they'll be like, she defeated 21 or however many Democratic candidates. Whoever wins is going to be like, oh, they're going to think so well of themselves because they defeated 20 some odd, however many candidates. But they're all a joke. You're right. My dad. I was talking with my dad some months back, and he's, you were right about Trump, and then everybody that's going up against him are shrimps, and he used the word shrimps, and it's a good word for it. They are. They're just not to be taken seriously.
Yeah, have you seen Eric Swalwell?
Yes, he's the guy he's the Democrat. He's the white male Democrat who appears on Fox News a lot. I called it fake news.
Yeah,
Fox News. The less fake of the cable news stations.
Yeah, he said he was complaining on Twitter about how the Constitution doesn't mention. He said the Constitution doesn't mention the word woman once. This is sexism, and this is unacceptable.
Why does he kiss up like that? Why is he even running for president? It's so ridiculous. Is he just because he's on Fox News? He thinks that he can run for president? It's so weird.
Yeah, he's polling at 0%.
He hasn't. What's he done? He's done less than Hillary, he's done less damage than Hillary, but he's done less than Hillary. Hillary's at least been in the public eye for a long time. He's like,
yeah, he's terrible.
That's awful. It's a shame. How come you're into politics at 12? That's weird. That's interesting. I say weird because I wasn't.
I got into politics because of the 2016 election, actually.
Okay, I understand that. So how old were you at that point? 8, 9, 10?
9.
Okay.
I think.
And what about the 2016 election got you into it?
Because it was so fascinating how that was probably one of the it was one of the strangest things I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
With the debates and everything, and how everyone was propping up this person who was just absolutely evil. And I was like, does anyone see this?
Talking about Hillary?
Does anyone see that she's evil? Why are we supporting this? And I had a debate with five of my family members about it, and they were just completely brainwashed. And I started looking into it, and that's how I got into politics.
You know, I think kids know the truth. They're closer to reality, and that's why the gays go after the kids and try to brainwash them into thinking that gay is okay and that gay is right and something to be celebrated.
Yeah.
And then I think also another thing that made me think of this is during the 2016 campaigns, there was this news story, viral video of a black boy, 8 years old, maybe younger, maybe 6. But he told his mother, single mother, I think, black mother, that he voted for Trump in the election, the class election, right? Fake election. I voted for Bush when I was in 2nd grade in the class election as opposed to Dukakis. Because I was told that Bush was like Reagan. I didn't know anything about Bush. But this kid has seen his explanation for voting for Trump during the class election was that he had seen Trump on TV, and so he liked him. And he liked him. And anybody who looks at Trump on TV who is doesn't already have believe in fake racism and stupid stuff like that, they're going to like him. He's a likable person. He's a real person, genuine. And he just stands in such contrast to the Republicans on the stage. That was when I realized that Trump is a man for the job, because he was real, and all the other politicians, including Ted Cruz, who I liked up until then, still kind of like him, but he's just not genuine like Trump is.
Yeah, that's an interesting point where that kid liked Trump, because all the rappers, have you seen in a lot of these songs from 10, 15 years ago, everyone was talking about Trump and
being Donald Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. There's because he's rich and he's cool, right? He's a celebrity.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden in 2016, he's racist, he's sexist, he's homophobic.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, and people hate him all of a sudden. Even the same rappers who put him in their songs.
Right. And the supposedly
as soon
rebel.
As you label somebody, they hate them.
The supposed rebel Eminem was like, F you, and he quoted all the stupid mainstream media complaints about him. He turned into what he hated. Total.
And he's orange.
Yeah, stupid. And then you know what else happened with this kid? His mother, I don't know what she was thinking, but basically she made him pack up his stuff into his backpack and walk out the door. She was kicking him out of the house, basically, and he was crying. And meanwhile, she's so proud of herself. She's streaming this on Facebook or something, or recording it on her phone, and then she put it out on social media. I don't know if it was live or pre-recorded, but she streamed it on her phone. What are you doing? I'm leaving. I'm being kicked out. And why? Because I voted for Trump. And why do you like Trump? Because I saw him on TV. And he's bawling his eyes out. We have Jesse Lee Peterson has a video out on it. And it was just an example of the corruption of the adults versus the innocence and the open, clear eyes of the children.
Yeah.
And Trump is like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Man, it's nice to hear from you, Micah.
Yeah, you too. I've never called into the Hake report before.
I appreciate it. So, you're out of school or something? How are you able to call in at these hours?
Oh, I'm homeschooled.
Oh, okay, man.
And out of school right now.
Okay, nice. So, were your parents political? Last quick questions, and then I got to hang up with you. But were your parents political? Somewhat?
Kind of, but not really until I wouldn't shut up about the 2016 election.
Are they both more liberal than you?
They're not liberal.
Okay.
But they are a little bit like more like right, like a little bit more less right than me, like more central.
Yeah.
They're still on the right, but
they're kind of more standard.
Yeah, and they're not that into politics.
All right. And then they're Christians.
Yeah, they are.
Right on. All right. Cool. And you're the one that was quoting the Bible and stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
You guys made a clip out of it.
Yeah. What did you think of that clip?
I thought the thumbnail was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't a picture of you actually, right? I think there might have been one that was a picture of a kid. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a picture of a kid preacher that went on Oprah a while back.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm glad you liked the thumbnail. I thought it was funny. And nice. I hope to hear from you again, Micah.
Yeah, I'll try to call in the next time. When's the next show?
I'm next live on Sunday, 9 a.m. on my channel, The Hake Report. Or it's just Hake on YouTube.
Oh, that's live? Can you call in on those?
Yeah, same number.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. 9 Pacific, which is, you're in Indiana, which is either Eastern or Central.
Oh, yeah, because you're in the same studio, too.
Yeah, so then it would be 11 or 12, 11 Central or 12 Eastern.
All right, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, nice talking with you, man. Take care. Joe, out of Phoenix, Arizona, been on hold a while, man. How are you doing, Joe?
Good morning, James.
Good morning.
All right, a few things. FBI stats clearly show that violent crime dropped under Obama.
I know, but it spiked again. The murders spiked again. You know that, right?
They did spike towards the end of his term.
Yeah.
Now they are reducing, but about 15%.
Nice.
Secondly, you're right about the two different Congos in Africa, but the Democratic Republic of Congo is not really democratic. It's basically a dictatorship.
It's all lip service, huh? Politics.
Yeah, it's not really.
I hate
kind of like North Korea. It's not democratic at all.
Right.
But I'm genuinely curious. You keep saying that General Lee was an honorable man.
Yeah.
Can you explain why? Can you explain why you think that way?
Because everything I've heard and the people that like people that know history, like Patrick Rooney, he basically says that he was not that really for slavery, for one. And to be honest, I really don't care about slavery, whether they were for or against, because it's not like abortion where it's clear cut. With abortion, it's quite clear cut, right? And then with slavery, it's like, okay, it's a life situation. It's not ideal. You should seek to gain your freedom. And if you're a slave master, you should be a just slave master. And so it's not as I'm glad we don't have it, because I wouldn't want to go into slave. Maybe we should bring it back because so many people are in debt. I don't know. I really don't care about the whole issue. So, but in general, like he was respected by both sides, both the Confederates and the Union people, and he was. I heard
his war leadership, yeah.
And I heard that he was. I heard he was instrumental in Reconstruction. I don't know if that's true, but if he was, that's kind of nice. Reconstruction being, because they destroyed the country by fighting this war, right? And so Reconstruction sounds like a good thing.
So
I don't really know the
things
details.
there, James. One, I would say that owning another human being whether you think slavery was benign or how they were treated, the fact that another human being could own another human being is just flat out evil. So,
but that's what happens today. You notice that
there is still slavery today, and that's evil as well. So it doesn't excuse.
No, but I'm not referring to physical slavery. I'm referring to like people like there's this figure of speech where like you're my blank, meaning I own you, and there's very real senses in which people are owned by one another. Like people in gangs can't get out oftentimes. There's all types of ways of, and that's like another physical example of like a ownership. But I'm referring to like spiritual ownership. People, there's always going to be a subservient role and a dominant role, and people really aren't free. And today, like, although people are not slaves anymore officially, they are less free. They're less moral than maybe ever in the country. You notice that, how bad the country has gotten? It's gotten so immoral. And you're a Christian, right? You've seen how immoral the country has gotten. They're celebrating abortions. They are celebrating
morals.
Homosexuality.
Morals have slipped, absolutely.
And they're celebrating hatred and division among the races and stuff like that. It's just like they're basically turning into commies. We're turning into not America.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but
people are embracing socialism, right?
Owning another person is just flat out evil. I would hope you would agree with that basic fundamental level.
I don't know, man.
Wow. Okay. But in addition to
I'm not for abusing. I'm not for like. Yeah. Anyways, go for it.
But there's a lot of negative there. Like I told you before, the guy, when they invaded northern states, he would take free blacks and sell them back into slavery. He would intentionally break up his own slaves' families. So, like any person, there are entries on both sides of the ledger. But the bottom line, and I know you don't agree, but the Civil War was simply about slavery and preserving it and extending it. And that's just evil. So there's plenty of proof of that, including the Confederate Constitution. But that's what I wanted to say. Hope you have a good day. I'll call you again sometime.
All right, Joe. Appreciate it.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Let's see. Craig out of Illinois. How are you doing, Craig? Craig.
Hello, how you doing, sir?
Doing fine, thank you. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, nice to hear from you, too. Reason why I'm calling, I called about 2 weeks ago, and I spoke with Mr. Peterson, and, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really thank God for you guys because I don't know where I'd be at today because, all this negativity that I'm getting from, the liberal left and, how they brainwashed us for like 24 years and both the Democrat.
Speak up for me, Craig. I'm listening hard, but speak up.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better. Way better.
Okay. Sorry about that. But like I said, I just want to say, I thank God for y'all show and
nice.
For what y'all been doing and, bringing everyone together, instead of dividing everybody with lies. I got to agree with you guys on the majority of, most black people are hatred today. And it's sad because it does make other races don't like us.
Yeah.
And, they keep bringing up the stuff in the past.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I've noticed this with other people too. But I've noticed this with whites, where whites who are hating the Jews, they're like, oh, you're not allowed to talk about them. So they come at you all weird. And when they come at you weird, you don't want to talk to them, right? And then they think, oh, you're stifling my free speech. Same thing with the blacks who are hating the whites or hating, acting like they're hated. By acting like that, they become hateable people, and then nobody wants to be around them. And and then the whites are acting so afraid that they may as well. It is the same thing as hatred when you're afraid. So they may as well hate them. So it's like people are so imperfect that it becomes
right.
Their illusion becomes like real, but not in the way that they're thinking. It's so weird.
Right. You know, when I grew up in the city of Chicago, and we grew up in the Cabrini Green housing projects, it was rough. And it was so much hatred, you know, amongst everyone. And I never liked that. And, you know, me growing up in a single mother home, you know what I'm saying, and my father walked out on me, you know, we weren't taught in our household to hate one another. You know, we were lovely, you know, we were taught to love everybody no matter what color. And we never had any hatred towards police officers the way the police are being hated today. It's unbelievable. Now, I know there's bad cops out there, but, you know, and it makes it bad for the good cops that's out there today. But, you know, I'm just so sick and tired. Like, you know, I'm hearing callers call you that are of color, and they're telling you, well, you need to learn the history. You need to learn this. You know what? You did your research, and, you know, back in those times, we didn't have the Internet the way we have the Internet today.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing what I'm seeing now, and the Confederate flag does not constitute hate.
Right.
It was used in the wrong, negative way by the KKK that was founded by the Democrats.
Yeah.
If most black people would take some time to sit their butts down at the computer and do your research, then maybe they'll come up with a different perspective, because I feel that you and Jesse get attacked a lot because y'all telling the truth. And a lot of people out here don't like to hear the truth.
Let me ask, how old are you that when you were growing up, you guys weren't taught to hate the cops and stuff? How old are you?
Right. I was, when I grew up, I was like 8 or 9 years old. So we wasn't taught that.
And was that the 70s, the 80s, or what?
It was in the 80s. It was in the 80s.
Because
it wasn't like the way it is today.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the way people disrespect these cops. You got to look at it this way, too. And I'm pretty sure people probably listening to the show are going to call me an Uncle Tom, a sellout. I don't care. I love my country, and I stand up for what's right. I'm not on the side of wrong here. And I'm not going to agree with the same people of the same color because we're the same. No, I have my opinions here, and I have my First Amendment.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Appreciate it.
I'm just saying, just because what you see on TV about officers that are doing bad, you know what? As humans, we're gonna make mistakes.
Craig,
okay?
Craig, let me ask you real quick a couple of things I want to ask.
Yes,
you said that your father walked out on you. He walked out on you?
Yeah. Yes.
On you or on your mother?
You know, in general, on me in general, of all of us, you know, he walked out on us. You know,
because that's a weird thing to say. You were like 8, 9 years old. Why would he walk out on you? That's a weird thing to say.
And you know what?
Maybe you should have just said that he walked out on your mother, and then you guys were left without him.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah,
and then the other thing was who taught you guys to love one another?
My mother.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
my mother did all that. So.
I'm glad that you're not falling for the crap.
Yeah, because I don't know, like, where were y'all at? You know what I'm saying? These type of shows. Where were y'all at like 24 years ago?
Jesse was here doing it. Craig, I gotta go, man.
Like,
nice talking with you.
Yeah, man, good talking with you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And
all right.
Real quick, man, I love you and Jesse, man. Y'all good people, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And all the haters that don't call me a coon, I don't care.
Right on.
I love my country and I love people.
Nice.
All right, see ya.
All right, take care. Dylan, out of Iowa. Dylan, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You say my name better than Jesse does.
Right on. It's because we're used to saying Dylon, I think.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Well, you remember that caller that said you should have a little jingle when you say the news?
Yep.
I'd be willing to work on that for you if you want.
All right, I appreciate it. Get in touch with me, thehakereport@gmail.com. Or just tweet me, whatever. And just follow up, because sometimes I don't always respond the fastest. I may get busy or whatever. But just get in touch.
The Hake Report at what?
Gmail.com.
Gmail, okay. I got it written down now.
All right, Dylan, appreciate it. Anything else?
Yeah. No, not really. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Take care.
You too. Bye.
All right. David out of Kentucky. How are you doing, David?
Yes.
How are you doing, David? I'm back. You're on.
Fine, James. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you believe in the Ten Commandments?
I think so, yeah.
Does Jesse?
I don't know. I think so. Sure. Yes.
Well, there was a comment yesterday on Facebook how everybody missed and loved Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back, I said, I miss him too. Unfortunately, he bought a ticket to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And they came back cursing me. How dare me say something like that? I'm judging. I said, hey, I do not judge. I live by God's 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill is number 1.
Yeah, and he killed himself.
Yep.
Yeah, he was like a liberal or something.
I don't care if you're rich or poor. That don't matter.
Yep.
I don't care if you're a movie star. That don't matter. When you take your life, where do you go?
I don't know. I don't think
not kill.
I don't think that he lived right. So I don't know what happened. A lot of times people, as soon as they start to commit suicide, they're like, oh no, and then they change their mind, but then it's too late.
No, I wish I could be with my brother, but he's put a shotgun in his mouth, and I know where he's at.
Interesting, David. But who are we to know what happened?
Well, thou shalt not kill.
Yeah, so they did. It doesn't mean
that means you also.
Right. It means you shouldn't kill yourself, but it doesn't mean that you know where they are necessarily.
Of course. Well, if you mortally break a commandment of God, you're supposedly on your way to Hades.
Yeah, on your way, or you're already there.
You know, that's
really.
the way we were taught in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But today, things are changing.
And you know what? Jesus even took it further, meaning he said that if you're angry at your brother, or if you hate your brother, is the same thing. You've already committed murder in your heart, and so you're headed for hell too.
That's what I just wanted to know that, James.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, David. Nice to hear from you again. Take care.
Always.
All right. Let me quickly get to Javian. Javian, first-time caller out of South Carolina. How are you doing, Javian? Joel, get ready the WND pictures. Joel. Yeah, go for it, Javian.
I'm sorry.
No
I
worries.
couldn't hear you. All right, so I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing fine, thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you see my question. My question is, why is it that you make a lot more sense when you're by yourself opposed to when you're with Jesse?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm not aware of that.
Oh, well, I'll help you become more aware.
Okay.
So it's like when, I guess just on the Hake report, you're more compassionate and you're more open to things. But when Jesse's there and he's quick to shut something down, you're quicker to follow suit. So say if, I don't know, the whole idea of saying there's no such thing as liking.
Liking?
Yeah.
Oh, like versus whatever?
Right, he said it doesn't exist. But for some reason, it shows that you obviously don't agree with him on that.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to talk more about this maybe on Sunday if you can call in on Sunday, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure I have a clear example of what you're talking about.
All right, I'll call back.
All right, appreciate it, Javian. Thanks for calling in, man. Danny out of Texas. I'm sorry, man. I can't get to you. The rest of the callers, we'll have to catch you Sunday on the Hake Report. Go to thehakereport.com and check it all out. WorldNet Daily reports how Trump reversed the Obama murder surge. Article by Jack Cashel talking about how Obama kissed up to Black Lives Matter and Trump kisses up to the cops, which is a good thing. All right, guys, check it out. I'll post that on my Twitter. Follow me at the Hake Report. Cool, huh? All right, guys, take care. Get It Off Your Chest Friday is next on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show tomorrow. All right, bye.